Hello and welcome. In this video, we will be looking at an upper mid-range phone from Samsung, the A8. Samsung promises to give us nearly the flagship experience without the flagship price tag. Reducing the cost means there has been some compromises made along the way. The price point is nearly half that of a Galaxy S9, but is it half the phone? Well, let's have a look. Let's start with the unboxing. Once the box is opened, the phone is presented right on the top. Further down, we have the accessories, which includes the charger, or more importantly, a fast charger. They are including a case with most of their phones these days, or at least in Australia they are. Also, please note that the earphones are not the AKG tuned earphones that was included with the S8 and the S9 series. External appearance of the phone resembles the S9 series with some differences. It is a sealed phone with glass back with metal frames on the side. The finishing is top-notch. It looks like a mainstream flagship. At the back, we have the camera with a fingerprint reader under it, and it curves at the sides as well. At the front, we have the two front-facing camera at the top and the speaker slit, and the rest of the front face is glass. However, it's a flat screen. In other words, no curved screen like the S9. No home button here, and this has been the design choice of Samsung for a few models now. I'll talk about the screen in more details in a moment. Around the body, there are volume controllers on one side and power button on the other side, with the speaker grill presented on the side as well. At the bottom, we have the USB Type-C port and earphone jack. There is no Bixby button, thankfully. There are two separate trays for SIM and micro SD card. Samsung website is showing inaccurate image in case it confuses anyone. The phone is dust and water resistant with rating of IP68. As far as handling the phone goes, it feels very good, even when compared to other flagship phones. The curve from the back certainly adds to the pleasant feel factor. The phone is not particularly light at 172 grams, and I don't mind that one bit. On the contrary, in fact, I like it. But that is a personal opinion. I think this is ideal weight for a smartphone. The buttons have a nice tactile feedback as well. Now let's get into the performance side of things. I'll start with the screen, as that is one of the strengths of Samsung. Super AMOLED is a name that Samsung uses for OLED display technology. There are pros and cons of the screen. Pros are that the colors are nice and vibrant, and contrast is brilliant. Black appears proper ink black right next to bright colors. Along with that, the viewing angle is fantastic. There is also an always-on function, and it is not too taxing on the battery. One of the biggest downside of Super AMOLED display is that it does not age well. Over time, the colors begin to lose its vibrancy, and also the functional buttons at the bottom of the screen gets burnt in. This is a gradual process and will take about 1.5 to 2 years. With regards to brightness, the screen is well visible under direct sunlight, and the brightness can be turned up to 11 if needed. That is the way Samsung is presenting the max brightness. Due to the slightly taller aspect ratio, the resolution is just a bit more than Full HD, but it compares the same to Full HD screen, approximately. The resolution not being Quad HD has never been an issue. There is ample sharpness, such that one cannot tell the difference between a higher resolution screen unless compared side by side with another phone. And on that note, here it is, side by side with a Quad HD resolution phone, but one that is not Super AMOLED. The difference in richness of color is very clear, but the higher resolution of the G6 does not give it any apparent visual advantage. As far as daily usage goes, which includes gaming, it will be fine. Not perhaps chart-topping, but good enough to do the job well. Next, let's look at the performance of the phone's processing power. As far as daily usage goes, again, I have been using this phone for work. The general items like email, web browsing, maps, and other productivity apps, they run without any hiccups. While the A8 does not have the top-of-the-range most powerful CPU there is, it still has a octa-core CPU that runs in a 2+6 big. LITTLE configuration. I find this quite interesting from an engineering point of view. There has to be a solid reason why Samsung chose this configuration. I'm thinking possibly they are favoring battery life here. Point being, for my day-to-day activity, multitasking or using the phone for longer amounts of time, there has never been any stability issue nor any performance lag. As a functional day-to-day work phone, so far all is smooth sailing. While I'm not much of a mobile gamer, for sake of testing, I ran Asphalt, which appears to run fine as well. This brings me to the battery life, which for me has been fantastic. Because this is a second phone to me, I more than often forget to charge it. And that has worked out okay most of the time. I turned off the always on display feature and got some fantastic standby times as well. At my regular workday usage rate, I easily, hands down, get more than 2 days of usage. And over the weekend, I can just leave it without charging, and on Monday, there is still plenty of charge to see me through. As far as battery life is concerned, I'm happier than my main daily driver, which has a bigger battery, but also a CPU and screen that demands more power. By the way, the phone supports fast charging, which is why they included an adaptive fast charging charger. Fun fact, here Samsung included a fast charger with a mid-range fast charging phone. A certain fruit company does not include fast charger with their top-of-the-range phone. It is an optional extra you have to buy separately. With regards to the software, the phone has the usual Samsung range of applications loaded, often doubling up on items that are part of Android anyway. I must give justice to Samsung's Health app, which is actually one of the better apps that Samsung made. Others are, well, meh. Bixby does make an appearance if you want it. For anything else, there is Play Store. Go nuts. The camera. There is a 16 megapixel sensor that utilizes 1.12 micrometer pixels. The aperture is fixed at a nice and low f1.7. All that is great, but it always comes down to using a camera before knowing if it is any good. First of all, let me get the software stuff out of the way. There are the usual face detection and the stickers, etc. Along with HDR and panorama mode. There are also the beauty and food mode for those who are into that sort of things. So what about the quality? Well, during the day, the camera produces reasonable results. Again, not chart-topping good, but good enough to grab nice colors and good amount of details. Low light performance is also not bad. There is a night mode, but the auto mode does what is needed on its own, so no need to use the night mode as such. The A8 does full HD video at 30 frames per second. Here, some of the compromises show up. First of all, there is no optical image stabilization. So, as soon as we start filming, the frame crops in a bit in order to stabilize the shot. This is similar in many cameras these days. Second thing that I'm missing here is that there is no slow motion. Having said all this, it promises the basics and to most part gets them right. Now let's talk about the selfie camera. There are two different cameras present here. First has the regular portrait framing, which uses a 16 megapixel sensor, and then there is a wider 8 megapixel sensor. There is not all that much of a difference in quality between the two. As for the wide lens, while they were at it, they may as well have gone a step further and given it a wider lens. At this point in time, I'll acknowledge the effort, but it's not a full victory. The fingerprint reader is thankfully in the center. Again, this is not the fastest fingerprint reader out there. I know this because again, I'm comparing it to a flagship phone's performance. A completely unnecessary thought. It works perfectly. and it works every time, and it works consistently. There is zero concern as far as its function goes. If I want to unlock the phone, I unlock the phone, and that is all there is to it. In Australia, the price ranges from about $480 Australian. However, there are international variations available from Amazon for much less. I have left a link in the description for updated price. At this price point, there most certainly is good amount of competition. There is 2 years warranty, and in Australia, Samsung has put some effort to make a presence in shopping malls and so forth. As an industry insider, I can tell you the woes people go through when attempting to claim warranty, even from reputed manufacturers. So a physical place where you can go in order to claim warranty should be given points. So what are my thoughts? Once purchased, we will be using the phone and not comparing it. So let me put the price aside for a moment, and also let me stop comparing it with any other phone for a moment too. Let us consider the phone for what it is, as it is. From the get-go, this is a well-built phone. Let's say, if someone borrows this phone from its user to make a call or something, this person may end up thinking this is the top-of-the-range phone. Inherently, there is no major flaw, no deal breaker per se. On the contrary, Samsung has given this phone some good stuff. A nice vivid screen, impeccable build quality, a reasonable camera, well-optimized battery performance. Which brings us to the price point. There are comparable items from LG, HTC, Motorola, and a whole list of others. Depending on where you look at for buying, it is the price at the end of the day that will make or break the deal. So some research is called for, as price vary constantly. As for my day-to-day use, it has been serving the business needs perfectly. Possibly this is why the company I work for chose this model in the first place, as a cost-effective solution. I would have made the same choice as well, since it's a 2-year contract. The bottom line is, as a phone, this is a good all-rounder. It does come down to price or contract. If the deal is good from cost point of view, the phone is certainly good from a daily usage point of view. Well, that's the end of the video. What you liked or disliked about the video, please feel free to let me know in the comment section below. Also, please do subscribe for our latest upcoming videos and giveaways. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.